So welcome back to another video. This is TeamOverclocked bringing you guys another video. In today's video we're going to be covering the best $350 gaming PC build featuring the RX 460. Now this is great for gaming at 1080p at medium to high settings at very decent frame rates. Across the board, 1080p is playable without a problem, and dropping the resolution would allow the FPS to hit the high 60 FPS sweet spot, which is what most gamers aim for. So let's get right into it. For the CPU, we have the AMD Athlon X4 845 for $66. This is clocked at 3.5 GHz with a turbo boost up to 3.8 GHz, which is pretty decent, and you should be able to do some light overclocking on this. It's also a quad-core chip, which is really important these days, since most games require 4 threads to run, so it's really nice to see this in a budget-end chip. For the motherboard, we got the ASRock FM2 A68M-DG3 Plus for $45. This is a micro ATX motherboard with 2 RAM slots, 4 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports, and it also uses the AMD A68 chipset, which should allow for some light overclocking. Now this motherboard has all the features you need for a gaming PC without nothing more or nothing less, and you shouldn't go wrong with this motherboard. For the RAM, we have the Corsair Vengeance 8GB set for $35. This is a 1x8GB set clocked at 1600 MHz. 8GB is a perfect amount for gaming and light video editing, and I personally have not gone over 8GB in my gaming experience. And for video editing purposes like YouTube, I don't really need more than 8GB. And since this is only one stick of RAM, you can always add another stick later on, and that would upgrade the RAM to a higher capacity. For the hard drive, we have the Hitachi UltraStar 1TB for $39. It's a 3.5-inch 7200 RPM hard drive, which is pretty mainstream these days, and that's pretty much what you'll get with most of these $40 to $50 hard drives. This will serve as your mass storage, like your games, media, movies, and it should have enough space to cover all of those aspects. Now, anything lower than 1 TB is beginning to get a little low these days, as a lot of games are requiring more than 60-70 GB, and if you want to store a lot of movies, then it might be useful to have a 1 TB storage capacity. And for $40, this is a pretty good deal all around. For the GPU, we have the Sapphire RX 460 for $114. This is clocked at 1.09 GHz, has 2 GB of DDR5 VRAM, and a TDP of 75 watts. Now this is one of the best budget-end GPUs on the market because of its 1080p capabilities. Since this only consumes about 75 watts of power, you can plug it in right into the PC without requiring any external power. Since this only consumes about 75 watts of power, you should be able to plug this in right into your gaming PC without requiring any external power, which is great if you have a pre-built and you just want to stick this right into it without a problem. It's also relatively quiet, and you should be able to get some decent overclocking out of this with the Sapphire RX 460 cooler. It's also pretty quiet and should be able to get a decent overclock out of this, since it is one of the Sapphire cards from AMD. For the case, we have the Fractal Design Core 1000 for $25. It has a front panel USB 3.0, 2 drive base, convenient cable management layout, and it has decent room for upgrades. I really like the design of this, which has a simplistic fractal design, I guess you could say. And although it does not have all the features of the newer Core 1100, it still is a great budget case for building in, and it's great for the average budget builder out there getting into PC gaming. For the power supply, we have the EVGA 430-watt ATX power supply for $34. And this is really reliable since it's 80+ certified, meaning that it has 80% efficiency, and EVGA is known for their reliable power supplies and good capacitors. I personally have an EVGA power supply in my build. I personally have an EVGA power supply in my PC build, and I've had no problems with it, and this 430 watt is one of the best budget options out there. So if you liked the video, please overclock the like button. If you didn't like it, please dislike it and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.